Ever since I was little, I always wanted to take care of people or become a race car driver. And since a race car driver is a pretty big stretch, I have basically dedicated my life to taking care of people, whether it was babysitting or raising my friends' kids during their daycare days, or even in my job now, I take care of kids all day long. So this year I had decided that I was going to really get a good job and get my degree to professionally take care of people. The overview that we're going to talk about today is our salary, the job duties, what is a positive responsibility for that job, and what is a lesser enjoyable thing for that job, and then an outlook and a conclusion. So the salary, according to the Census Bureau in 2018, the median salary in the US was approximately $85,000. And the three jobs that I chose were a speech language pathology assistant, a special education teacher, and a behavioral health technician. And for the speech language pathology assistant, according to the American Speech Language Hearing Association, speech language pathology assistants, or an SLPA, employed in the United States in May of 2025 earned about $62,385,000 a year. Special education teachers, according to the Department of Labor, special education teachers working in kindergarten and elementary school earned an average of $63,000. And a behavioral health technician in the United States earned salaries that range from $41,000 to $57,000, with the national average for this profession being $52,000. So in conclusion, pretty much any job that I choose is going to be below the median salary, but to me, I would rather have a job that I get happiness from than just be in it for the money. So the enjoyable duties for an SLPA, or a speech language pathology assistant, is assisting in developing an individualized plan of care, implementing treatment plans and protocols under the direction of the pathologist. And SLPAs help pathologists in examining clients. They conduct written and oral tests and use special instruments to analyze and diagnose the nature and the extent of the impairment. So for me, my goal is to work in an elementary school with mostly an autistic population where we will be using AAC devices and teaching from the ground up how to verbalize what we want or find different ways to communicate. The less interesting duties for an SLPA is to work with people who may have oral motor problems that cause eating and swallowing difficulties. For me, that's not something that I would look to do for my part of my job. I have zero interest in going into, say, like a nursing home to help stroke victims learn how to eat or swallow again. That's just not anything that I'm looking to do. And in medical facilities, they may work with physicians to develop and execute treatment plans. Like I said, hospitals are not where I want to be. I am terrified of them, so I have no interest in working in that type of environment. So the enjoyable duties for a special education teacher is teachers design and modify instructions so that it is tailored to individual student needs, and they work to make students as independent as possible by teaching them functional skills for daily living. As a paraprofessional right now, this is kind of what I do. I obviously do not make the lesson plans. I follow out the tailored individual plans that my teacher makes, and we are somewhere between education and life skills. So we actually put all of this into play where we follow specific routines and we teach them how to do daily living tasks on top of the academics that they are capable of doing. The less interesting job duties for a special education teacher is gifted and talented students may need extra challenging assignments and a faster learning pace or special attention. For me, I don't want to work with the super smart gifted kids. I like the kids that need the extra support, the quiet kids, the autistic kids, the kids that have those learning disabilities that need just the extra support. And special education teachers are responsible for a certain amount of paperwork, including forms that are required by the school system or the government. After seeing what my teacher does daily for paperwork, that doesn't sound fun and it doesn't look fun. Enjoyable duties for behavioral health technicians is technicians may help to include obsessive compulsive disorder, attention hyperactivity disorder, antisocial behaviors, and you can see on the screen, I can't read it all. Behavioral health technicians meet with clients to assess the type of behavioral problems that they have, conducting one-on-one interviews and taking notes and collecting information and data for intake forms. I love taking data. I do it every day. To me, that would be a very enjoyable part of having that profession. And a less enjoyable duties for a behavioral health technician is they may help patients learn how to keep their clothing and living areas clean. And the job has physical requirements that are sometimes called upon, protective movements or holds when they deemed necessary. That just doesn't sound fun to me. It doesn't sound like a job that I would want to have that be part of my daily requirements. So in conclusion, the SLPA, the speech language pathology assistant, is where I'm leaning. I'm right now just working on my associate so that I can transfer probably to the Elms for their SLPA program, and that is where I know I'll land. The other two jobs sound great, but they're just not for me. And the aspects to compare is the employment outlook is the one that I chose. The speech language pathology assistants have faster than average employment growth of about 6 to 8% is expected for this profession through 2033. The special education teachers are expected to have little to no change in employment through 2033, but in the years to come, there will be a demand will grow for special education teachers due to the increase in the number of special education students needing services. And behavioral health technicians, per the U.S. Department of Labor, behavioral health technicians are expected to have a job growth of about 9% from 2022 to 2032. So the comparison conclusion is all of these jobs are needed in one way or another. Everybody in these fields will be able to hopefully acquire jobs, and hopefully there will be many employment opportunities when it's time for me to find an SLPA job. So thanks for listening. I know I talked really fast. I'm sorry. And here is my works cited page. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out and I will answer them the best I can.